Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Teenage Catholic Podcast. I'm Matthew. I'm here with Brendan. Brendan, say hi to our audience.
Hi.
Brendan and I are a couple teenagers in today's Catholic world. We look around and see that our society is falling apart, and we see that there's not a lot of resources for Catholics. There's a lot of stuff for adults, a lot of stuff for how to raise your kids, but a lot of stuff between the teenager and young adult world seems to be missing.
Right,
So,
yeah.
Brendan and I are here to help guide people based on our own experiences and based on stuff like writings of the popes and teachings of the church and stuff like that. So let's just start with a little bit of an introduction. My name's Matthew. I have been involved in theology for about 6 years. I am a writer of a Catholic blog and also a straight A student in my theology class. Just gonna throw that out there. I've been
Ooh.
best friends with Brendan for about 4 years now, and I'm heavily involved in my parish with altar serving, being a sacristan. I've helped a couple of my friends revert back to the faith, stuff like that.
Amen to that.
And I'm very, very glad to be here with my friend Brendan starting this podcast. So,
Yeah,
Brendan,
it's
tell the
great.
viewers about yourself.
So I've been in theology for about 4 years. I grew up in the public school, then entered Catholic high school. Very involved in my parish, altar serving, sacristan, basically anything but being a priest or deacon yet. I'm going into seminary later, and yeah, I'm happy to do this. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, so a question I think a lot of our viewers might have is what do we have that other teenagers don't? Like, why listen to us? And a lot of what we're going to be saying, first of all, is just personal experience.
Right,
But
yeah.
anything that we say that's like, hey, this is what the church says, we're going to be pulling straight from official church documents. So we're not going to be out here like spouting heresy or anything. We're actually going to be telling you guys what the church actually teaches. So it's not necessarily our authority, but it's the church's authority that we're just helping to get out there for you guys. Anything that we say about us will be our personal experience, so you do have to understand that. But I do think that both of us have some valuable experience, especially Brendan, you grew up in public school. I'm a convert to the faith, stuff like that. So I think we both have some valuable uh, points of view to be able
Right,
to
yeah.
share with the faith.
Mm-hmm.
So the point of this podcast will be to, I believe, Brendan, as you said it, was to spread the gospel through the means of the podcasting world.
Yeah, definitely.
Again, as I had mentioned at the beginning, we don't really see a lot of stuff for teenagers. There's a lot of stuff for other age groups, but not as much for the teenage young adult area. Sure, you have the Ascension Presents videos, Father Mike, and
Whoop, whoop.
I guess you could listen to the heavier stuff from Catholic Answers, but a lot of the stuff isn't really addressing some pretty upfront topics that teenagers run into.
Right,
So
yeah.
we hope to cover those topics that you would see in the world. Um, Stuff like, hey, what to do if your friends are experiencing a tough time with the church, or if you're running into an issue with dealing with your parents or stuff like that. Just how as a teenager do you go about this Catholic world? So this is going to be new. Brendan and I both have never done this before.
Right, yeah.
Brendan is obviously preparing for homiletics again, as he mentioned. He's a seminarian, has been accepted to the seminary, so he'll be going there.
Yeah.
And I'm a little comfortable in front of the camera, but that's about the extent of my public broadcasting
Right,
experience.
yeah.
Topics we hope to cover in the future include stuff among the lines of really delving into some of the Pope's teachings that can help us understand how as a teenager to look about the world. And a lot of this stuff isn't going to be, hey, the Pope say as a teenager you have to do this. A lot of the stuff is the Pope say, hey, you have to do this, and how as a teenager can you do that, or a young adult, how can you do
Right,
that?
yeah.
We're going to address a lot of the sexuality topics that you see going around, especially how to deal with that in school, or just by yourself if you're running into that. And we're just gonna, generally go around addressing general Catholic topics, but from the point of view and perspective of a teenager, and just say, hey, how do you live out your life
Right,
like
yeah.
this?
Yeah.
How is the best way to do this? And but most importantly, as we had mentioned, is what does the church say about this? And then how can I apply that?
Right, and it's just another resource for the young adult teenage group. And like you said, Matthew, we don't really see a whole lot of that. You see a lot for adults, older groups. There's not really a whole lot of resources for the younger generations. So This is why we're doing it.
Hopefully this booms. Hopefully we can get this off the ground. We're gonna be posting this hopefully on YouTube, on Spotify, on all those different podcasting, so you'll be able to watch. Yeah, so we'll put it on YouTube, we'll put it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We'll look to getting it out there as much as we can. But
Right.
Brendan, I thought it was funny the other day as I was going through researching what we should do about this. I just went onto YouTube and looked up, Catholic podcasts for teenagers, and the only thing I got was just, the Ascension Presents kind of, here's a 7-minute video talking to you about how to live life as a Catholic teenager.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I mean, I guess that's cool if you're looking for a 7-minute video, but a lot of these people are looking for more than just 7 minutes.
Yeah, right. And Ascension Presents is great. We this thing is kind of like diving more into deeper understandings of church doctrine, like you said, what the Pope talks about, all that sorts.
Right, but from the perspective of a teenager.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So it's not like, you guys don't have to worry. We're not going to be breaking down like Aristotelian metaphysics or anything like. I'm sure we'll talk about some of those kinds of things as we go through, because some of it's just necessary to talk about, right? Like you can't talk about the Eucharist if you're not going to talk about metaphysics.
Yeah.
But a lot of this stuff is like, there's a whole bunch of Catholic philosophy out there that we're not really going to worry about. If you want to worry about it, feel free to go listen to like Jimmy Akin, or go watch some Matt Fradd podcasts or stuff. But yeah, so we didn't really have much planned for this first episode.
But we will for the next one.
Yeah, we will. Hopefully we'll be able to release one of these about every 2 weeks if we stay on schedule. And we appreciate all the support. Feel free to leave comments telling us what you guys think we should record next. Feel free to tell us if you liked an episode. The like button really does help a lot. It tells us if we did something good or not.
Yeah.
So do all the YouTube stuff. Do all the Spotify stuff, Apple Podcasts stuff, leave reviews, leave comments, stuff like that. It'll help a lot with the algorithm and getting us up off our feet. And other than that, I think this is just going to be our opening talk, what we're here about.
Okay.
And then in a couple weeks, we'll start banging out some podcasts. Brendan, you have anything to add?
I'm just looking forward to this experience. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be great. Looking forward. I'm really excited about what we can do. All right. Well, thank you guys for watching this shorter episode. Hopefully our episodes in the future will be longer, maybe about 30 minutes or so. But thanks so much. Again, remember to do all the YouTube stuff, and we'll see you next time.